Hi there, I'm Joy, and this is Hearts on the Mend, Healing from Troubled Relationships and Complex Trauma. If you have found this video, perhaps you are trying to make sense of a troubled relationship or trying to understand more about this idea of complex trauma. As I shared in my last video, there are some suggestions about how to heal from complex trauma and how to help yourself when you have dysregulation and emotions that are out of control. And so I'm just sharing a little bit of my pet therapy. This is Buddy. He still has separation anxiety, and we're working on that. But he's my pet therapy, and I wanted to give you a little more about him. And also, I'm continuing on with my Hearts on the Mend mosaic. It is a puzzle, and I read that when you do a puzzle, it uses the same part of your brain that meditation does. So if you have difficulty meditating, perhaps doing a mosaic or simply finding a puzzle will sort of ease that part of your brain and that. I've recently learned about complex trauma, and after a lifetime of troubled relationships, what I have found is that troubled relationships and complex trauma are very woven together, and I just didn't understand that, or me. I hope that my videos will help even one person to look at what you may be going through a little differently. And just know I am very sorry for what you're dealing with and what you're going through and the difficulty of how it is to try to make sense of it all. And understand that what happened in your past with complex trauma is not your fault. And a troubled relationship has different perspectives, and that is not all your fault either. We all learn from the past and change, but it is a process. I have said in my past videos that I'm living my worst nightmare. My boyfriend of 9 years ghosted me. He's found a new girlfriend, and my community of friends have labeled and shunned me. And recently, I learned that they continue to spread rumors and lies about me. And even at my age, it is difficult to understand how people could do that. They were my friends. I thought they were my friends. In a previous video, I said one of my mistakes was trusting untrustworthy people. And even Jesus had chosen 12 trusted men to travel, learn, and spread the gospel with him. In that group, they described 3 as his inner circle. And then of the 12, of course, there was Judas, who betrayed him. So it is a lesson for us all, and I have really learned the hard way. Something that has really troubled my spirit, because I know that I keep speaking of this being my worst nightmare. I will share one of those untrustworthy people at one time in looking at my troubled relationship that I was trying to make sense out of. She took me by the hand and she said, "Joy, if you don't break up with him now, he's going to end up with someone younger, and you are going to end up old and alone." Well, it is like those words were a curse on my life, because here I am. I'm 64 years old. All I ever wanted in my life was to have a partner to travel this journey with and be a light and a support and laughs and a shoulder to cry on. And now I am just crying alone. So it has troubled me because I do have some dear acquaintances who are suffering with cancer, and I have some other acquaintances that have truly experienced tragedies, and I have felt like perhaps you would say, how can you say this is your worst nightmare? I am still healthy, and my one and only daughter, who is my treasure, is doing well. But God, in his wisdom, in my readings, brought something to light for me, and I would like to share that. Of course, it is from this favorite book of mine by Melody Beattie, Journey to the Heart. And I'm just going to read a little part of one of the readings, and I am quoting her words. And this was from July 29th, actually. The title was, "What's Your Handicap?" She says, "What's your handicap?" the golfer asked his partner. "My childhood," said his companion. Some handicaps are physical, certain limitations placed on our bodies. Other handicaps are emotional burdens of heartache from sad or abusive childhoods. Others may be dealing with current issues, perhaps facing a terminal illness or grieving an irreparable loss. She goes on to talk about the loss of her son, who died tragically. And then she says, "I began to understand that I was living and working with a handicap. The loss would always be there. The pain and heartache would always be present. I could accept that, treat it as a handicap, and within that framework, go ahead and live my life once more. The moment I made that decision, my attitude and perspective changed. I was able to go on, able to move forward." She also says, Many of us are living with handicaps. Some will change over time, but others won't. If that's the case, stop waiting for your handicap to disappear. Instead, decide to live with it. Work around it. Treat yourself with care, with gentleness. Allow yourself to feel and experience all the limitations and emotions of your present situation. Accept them. Let them be part of you, part of your experience. My heartbreak and loss of my relationship is my handicap, and I want to heal. I want to make my pain and heartache go away, but it is always present with me. I'm 64 years old. I met my boyfriend when I was 55. I had retired after 30 years of teaching, and I moved to Florida to create a new life at the beach that I had always dreamed of. Parts of that life with him fit together perfectly, but now my life is like a puzzle in a box. In Psalm 34:18, David says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." God knew his people would experience the pain of a broken heart. It is real and ever present. The reason that I make these videos is because the process of healing a broken heart, it has so many different facets. Like I said, if I could help one person do things differently, if you can look at your relationship in light of the different facets. There are videos out there and speakers out there who may be experts and know the like vocabulary and the way of just the effect of a troubled relationship, and saying that ghosting and going no contact is the way to save yourself. But do you really want to end up like me? I lay awake at night thinking of all the things I could have done differently. And I hope that my video will help you to think in a different way, look at all the different facets, because basically my life was the beach. My life was like the front cover of this box. I met this man that I loved. I lived at the beach. I had a group of friends. I even had a pink bike. It was all coming together, and then for many different reasons, it fell apart, and now this is my life. Think about what you really want. The Lord is with us because he knew we would suffer with a broken heart. It's real. A broken heart and a shattered life. are real, but you might not have to be going through what I'm going through.